This is the Career Foundation's Future at Work podcast and webinar series. Each episode, we explore critical topics affecting the workforce and workplace, with a key focus on new and emerging trends across high-growth industries. Whether we're discussing the skilled trades, youth wellness and education, or supports for persons with disabilities, you'll learn about some great resources to help you, or someone you know, navigate current and future careers. You can visit us at careerfoundation.com to learn about all of our programs and services. Thanks for listening.
All right, well, welcome everyone to the Career Foundation's Future at Work podcast. I'm your host, Evelyn Akselrod, for today. And today I am joined by Natalia, Tanceva, and Maham, Khalid, two brilliant women here at the Career Foundation who are leading newcomer services to support our community. Welcome, Maham and Natalia.
Thank you, Eve. Thank you for having us today.
I'm so excited about this conversation because we serve so many newcomers and we know that they have a number of challenges. And so it's good that we have some customized solutions for them. But before we get in, I'd love to hear a little bit more about each of you. Can you start off by telling us a little bit about you and your experience? Who wants to start us off?
I'll go right ahead.
Okay.
So I have been with the Career Foundation for over 4 years now. And I have extensive experience working with a range of community agencies, which has allowed me to contribute to various high-profile marketing initiatives and also develop strong employer relationships as well. I grew to love the skilled trades as most of my family have well-established careers in the trades. And I love sharing my knowledge on the various careers available in the skilled trades, as well as guiding prospective students through the process to enter an apprenticeship. And honestly, to complete a successful apprenticeship, it takes dedication, focus, and also hard work. You earn as you learn. And there hasn't been a better time to enter the trades as there is a huge demand for skilled tradespeople right now. There's room for people for all sorts of skill sets, a lot of opportunities for advancement. Job satisfaction is at all-time high, and so is the job security. So That's a little bit from me.
Natalia, your passion for the trades is coming across very clear. Thank you very much, Natalia. Maham, tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I'm pretty new to the nonprofit sector. I have, of course, been in HR throughout my professional career. And in this journey, I have had the opportunity to work in many industries, from education management to property management, service industry, and recently HR in retail at the Home Depot, which I must say was a huge learning experience for me. And these diverse range of experience and human interactions have helped me grow not only as a professional, but as more so, I would say, as a human. Because as an HR, you get to work one-on-one with so many people. You get to have a deeper insight into the challenges people face. And honestly, having worked in this and, interacting with so many people, I feel this is embedded in me a need and a motivation to give back. Because I feel I cannot do all the good the world needs, but the world needs all the little bit I can do. And that is why now I am at the Career Foundation. I started in end of April last year, and I hope to grow and, help people.
Wonderful, wonderful. So you bring all of that wealth of experience to supporting newcomers on their journey. And it's interesting what you're sharing, because not everyone sees the intersection between work and life. And when we talk about having work-life balance, but they really influence and impact each other so much. If we're not good in our workplaces and able to adjust, our life, even if we have balance of time in our life, the quality of our life is so impacted, right? So it's really important to understand the impact of both. Thank you. So for those who don't know about the programs that you're leading here at the Career Foundation for newcomers, can you each tell us about your area of support?
The Ontario Bridge training programs, they're basically designed to help internationally trained immigrants who have international training and experience get employed in the field in which they have been trained from their country. That way, they are not duplicating their existing experience, but they're also gaining Canadian experience so that it's easier for them to integrate into the Ontario workforce. And for the HVAC program, participants will receive that training. They will be placed with a co-op where they're also able to experience the daily tasks and daily challenges that a contractor could face out there in the field. They'll have that exposure with the hopes of gaining an opportunity at the end of the training.
Mm. So the program is called Ontario Bridging Training Program. And so really it's about bridging a newcomer's experience from their native country to the Canadian labor market. And there are nuances, right? There, while the foundation is there, there are certain codes that people need to work towards. There are certain expectations of the workplace, technical skills and soft skills wise, right? So that's really important. And again, so you're leading, Natalia, the HVAC program. So that technical trades experience is going to come in really handy there for newcomers and your experience with trades as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, perfect.
It's a good opportunity, and it'll also give them a way for them to complete their certification. That way they're able to go into the HVAC world.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. Maham, what about your department?
So I am the program coordinator for the Foundations in IT Bridging Program. So essentially, it is to help professionals who have IT background or education from outside of Canada integrate into the Canadian marketplace. I mean, as an immigrant myself, I was a manager when I came to Canada, and it's not easy. The process isn't easy. You don't understand the culture, how to, the business communication piece, all of these things. So what we are trying to do is we facilitating them not only with the skills training, which is the CCSP certification, Certified Cloud Security Professional Certification. So anybody who has IT background or education, they have those foundational skills. And then what we are trying to do is we are trying to give them all the tools and all the learning they need, not only to write the exam, which is like, with us, there will be a rigorous training where they will study all the components of cloud, infrastructure and security, cloud data, cloud computing, everything in regards to equipping them for the certification. And then what we are going to be doing is we're going to be introducing them to employers. So again, we are not only equipping them with the, I would say, hard skills in terms of understanding the technical piece, but we are also giving them the necessary transferable skills so they can easily integrate into the workplace and then again continue to grow in those roles. And this is something I feel when initially I would get that, when I would call up employers, they would say, you don't have Canadian experience. At that point, it deterred me, and I felt that maybe there's something that I'm lacking. But now I really appreciate how necessary it is to understand how to navigate your way through the Canadian marketplace. So this is what our program is about. So that's about it. And in terms of network cabling, I think, Natalia, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
With network cabling is the same concept. They will be going through the technical training as well. We have partnered with Herzing College, where they will be providing internationally trained participants a customized training. That way, they're better in a better position to integrate into the network cabling world.
So I'm hearing HVAC, I'm hearing IT, and I'm hearing network cabling. So amazing opportunities for newcomers to use their foundational skills and move into the Canadian labor market. And I'm hearing so many benefits already from what you're sharing for our new Canadians. Is there more that you wanted to share?
As these are short-term training programs, they will help internationally trained immigrants meet credentials for a license or a certificate and help them find employment in their desired profession or their desired trade. And these bridging programs will help internationally trained immigrants better prepare themselves to be successful with the licensing and also the certification process. But depending on the program, they will get that classroom training, the workplace experience, they will obtain sector-focused and also occupation-specific employability training so that they're able to move quickly into the labor market without them having to relearn what they already know. And each bridging program is different and may provide participants with co-op placements where they're able to receive that hands-on Canadian experience, prepare them for the license or the certification exam. And for the HVAC and network cabling, they'll also be doing their safety certifications, such as working at heights, WMIS, there's elevating work platform, there's scaffold and ladder training, and there's also language training for their profession or trade. And individuals there is individual learning plans to identify any needed training that it may benefit those individuals.
Wonderful. So it's even like the business lingo and the business language that happens in that environment that people are getting familiar with. Thank you. Maham, did you want to add?
So, I mean, again, Natalia has very nicely put everything, but I, as an HR professional, feel that candidates today cannot just suffice by sending a conventional resume. You have to give a 360-degree view of the candidate. So you have to have that presence on LinkedIn, on social media platforms, the resume, the networking piece. All of these things kind of contribute to making you one of the top candidates. So the beauty of these programs, and I love the piece where they will actually be working with the workplace communication specialist consultant in the first few weeks. Now, this consultant is somebody who is going to be working not only as a group, but on one-on-one with these candidates. This person is going to be, and again, like Natalia mentioned, every industry has its own nuances, needs as to what sort of communication the candidate needs to give. So people working for the Foundations in IT program will be working with him on presentation skills. You will be doing mock interviews with them targeted only at IT employers. Same goes for Natalia's program, which is the HVAC program. They will be learning more about conflict management, conflict resolution. So again, all these trainings are tailored to the industry that these candidates are trying to integrate into. So, I mean, I personally love the piece where, they start off with a workplace communication specialist, they study or go for the licensing certification. And towards the end, we also work with them one-on-one. Our team, our dedicated team works with them to ensure that we equip them with all the skills they need to be successful. So, yeah.
Wonderful. Now, we've heard benefits for the candidate. What about the labor market? Like, why did you choose these three sectors to focus on? Is there a need for that in the labor market? Like, talk to us about the employer side of this.
Well, the world we exist in today is very dynamic and it is constantly evolving, and thrown into the mix was the pandemic. The pandemic really changed everything for, I think, a lot of industries. I think nearly every industry faced so many new challenges and discovered new opportunities. So, I mean, let's take cybersecurity, for instance. The digitization that was a few years in the making was expedited exponentially. So companies that were slowly jumping onto those platforms or trying to figure out how to navigate the system had to do it, I think, literally in a matter of weeks. And then cloud spending, I'm talking for the CCSP professionals. So cloud spending grew by 37% in the first quarter of 2020 alone, as more organizations realized how vulnerable their traditional data centers was. With more organizations finding these cloud solutions, the need for cloud security professionals grew exponentially as well, because we know every day we hear of so many attacks happening at hospitals, happening at organizations, data breaches. So the need and that's what the program is doing. The Foundations in IT program, we provide training to candidates to appear for the CCSP certification, and the demand for which is huge right now. Same goes for network cabling. I know, I mean, I've been having network issues for the past 1 week. I have meetings, and all of a sudden my internet just goes off. So greater usage of the web gave rise to an even greater need for the flow of data between computers and routers and other information systems. We've all been watching, funny Zoom meetings happening because we've learned to exist in that world now, and hence a greater need for bandwidth. That's why the need for network cabling professionals is so, I would say, hot right now. And with more people studies, again, all of these are connected. And I would say the pandemic has really given rise to these industries. We are all sitting at home, our kids are home, our pets are home, and spending more, and people are spending a huge amount retrofitting their dwellings. The demand for working home HVAC units rose drastically in the past 2 years. Adding to this was the prevalent concern about the spread of germs and bacteria, spurring a tremendous concern about indoor air quality. I mean, I was at the Home Depot when the pandemic started, and people were just buying and people were just fixing their homes. And again, the rise for HVAC was so necessary. So COVID-19 delivered a boost to all these industries, essentially. So HVAC, network cabling, cybersecurity, and that created an even greater need for professionals in these areas. So, I mean, I would say this is a great opportunity for anybody who wants to integrate into these industries. This is a good time right now to get the certification and, give a kickstart to your career.
Mhm. Oh my gosh, I love the way we design things here at the Career Foundation. It's about it's being led by and being even proactive in the labor market. Where are things shifting, and how do we design a solution to meet those needs? And Natalia, did you want to add something here?
And just to add to everything that Maham mentioned, the steady residential and commercial construction is basically creating work for network cabling, for HVAC, and also there's a strong industry demand along with the aging workforce, which allows all these graduates to actually find meaningful employment within the fields.
I mean, HVAC, I remember speaking to one employer, and he said, "You would not believe the amount of work I have in long-term care facilities." And nobody thought about that, right? You're thinking, okay, yes, we need it for homes and we need it for buildings, but the air quality of Maham, like you were talking about, and the circulation, how to keep people safe, schools and these hospitals and those institutions, like massive need for that. And so while it's easier for us to think about how cybersecurity and network cabling like really sort of boosted because it's the way we work now, HVAC is one of the key sort of systems that we need to keep ourselves healthy, especially in the pandemic, and people don't equate these things, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And HVAC employers have indicated that business has been growing for them ever
Yeah.
since the pandemic.
Yeah. And really can't keep up with the labor market demand, right? Yeah.
We need a
So
lot more workers.
we need a lot more workers.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So tell me, from a newcomer perspective, what would be the thing that sets me apart when I attend the Ontario Bridging Program here at the Career Foundation?
Well, I think before anything else, what would set them apart is the dedication and motivation, me and Natalia, because we are both immigrants ourselves, what we bring to the table in terms of having gone through the journey ourselves. We know what they need. And I wouldn't say 100% we know what they need, but what we can give them. And we bring passion to these roles. And the basic premise of these bridging programs is not only to guide you towards a career path more reflective of your prior experience, but also equip you with the skills and training to integrate into the Canadian workforce. And the support and the help does not stop there. We want to equip you so that you grow in those careers, you excel in those careers. And this is where we will find the reward for all our work, because we want to see you grow. As immigrants, we've worked hard, and we recognize how hard you are working as well. So these bridging programs, when a candidate comes with us, we start off with an assessment of their foundational skills that they already have. We provide them, of course, the technical and essential skills training specific to their occupation, workplace communication and cultures training, job placement, post-employment support. So our workplace communication specialist consultant will be working with them even after they are employed. So this person will be hosting a one-on-one session just to see how things are going, which areas they want to work in. So all our training is structured in a manner that it is in phases. So the first phase, you work with a dedicated workplace communication specialist. The consultant will work with you to orient you to the business communication used in the Canadian workplace, covering areas such as critical thinking, presentation skills, workplace culture, people skills that are truly relevant in the workplace today. I feel more so now. And then the candidates go through their skills training, equipping them with the necessary training to get the licensing or certification they need. And in the final phase, our dedicated team will work with them, facilitating these candidates through the job search process. So our end goal is not only to help them get the certification, but to get them employment. I mean, honestly, when I joined the Career Foundation, I said to myself, I wish I'd known about this. When I started, you knock on so many doors, you open 5, you figure out the 6th one wasn't the right one. Isn't it better that you have somebody whose goal is to make you success, is somebody whose end goal is to help you and guide you to the right way that you can integrate into your career choice? So what our team is going to be doing is we are going to be talking to them about creating the elevator pitch, networking 101, labor market orientation, how to optimize your LinkedIn, and then of course the very, very crucial introduction to prospective employers. I mean, Evelyn, you've been here for so many, like you have been, I think you're a huge part of the Career Foundation. We already have a huge, I would say, employers, a list of employers that we're already working with, and they also want to help these immigrants. They also want to give them the support. So this is what we are doing. So candidates coming through our programs not only will be possessing the, I would say, technical skills to excel, but are equipped with the transferable, or I would say, people skills to present themselves as a very strong candidate and continue to grow and excel in their journey.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Here at the Career Foundation, we have, over 2,000 employers in our network, and our employers are always looking for people who are committed and want to work, and they want to give people opportunities. So if someone's out there listening to us and they're really interested in this program, how do they apply? How do they get in touch with the programs?
We are currently hosting weekly information sessions. They can always go on our website and look up the bridging programs. All of our information is there, but they can also reach out to Maham and I individually and directly, either through our email address, or they can even give us a call over Zoom.
Wonderful. So careerfoundation.com is where you would get more information about this program. You would just look up Ontario Bridging Program on our website, and the contact information for our coordinators are there, but also they can sign up for the information sessions right off of the website, correct?
Exactly.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I want to thank you so much for chatting with me this morning. I'm excited about these programs, and I know that one of the biggest challenges that I've seen with newcomers over the years is getting work in their field. They've put in so much time and invested so much in their education in their home countries to study something that they're passionate about, and then oftentimes they come and they have to take survival jobs. And this is our stance to say, no more. You do not need to settle for something that, you do not care for, you did not train for. You have opportunities to stay and grow in your field. So if you're listening out there, we encourage you to come and check out one of our information sessions and learn more about these Ontario Bridging programs so you can grow in your field here in Canada. Thank you, ladies. Thank you again for joining me today. And thanks everyone for listening. Join us again for another episode soon on the Future at Work podcast here at the Career Foundation. Stay well, everyone. Be safe, be kind to yourself and to others. Okay, thanks everyone. Bye-bye for now.
Thanks for tuning in to the Career Foundation's Future at Work podcast and web series. To learn more about our workforce development initiatives, visit our website at www.careerfoundation.com and follow us on social media. To listen to our previous episodes, subscribe to the Future at Work podcast on iTunes or Spotify.